Welcome to the recap of the day, where we recap the biggest highlights from the world of football in the last 24 hours. And we kick things off as usual with action from the African Cup of Nations, and it wasn't a stacked day as there was only 2 matches to be played in that competition, and both matches were from Group D. In the earlier kickoff, Nigeria continued their strong outings as they ran off winners 3-1 over Sudan, who frankly were not terrible, particularly in the first half, but they simply were overpowered by the Super Eagles. First half goals from Samuel Chukwueze and Tao Awoniyi, as well as a first-minute goal in the second half from Moses Simon, sealed the deal, with Walid Din Khadir scoring the consolation goal for Sudan from the penalty spot in the 70th minute, meaning that Nigeria take the full mark with 6 points to officially join Cameroon and Morocco in the second round. In the other game in the group, finally Egypt got off properly in the tournament with a hard-earned victory over a valiant Guinea Bissau side. For near 17 minutes it looked like Egypt were on their way to yet another disappointing draw, despite having more of the ball and dominating the game, until Salah broke the deadlock in the 69th minute to give his nation the lead. However, this win wasn't without its fair share of drama, as the Egyptian fans' heart stopped when Mame Balde equalised for Guinea Bissau in the 84th minute, only for VAR to overturn it for a foul in the build-up. Thus, Egypt get their first 3 points of the tournament and look well poised to go through, as their final game pits them against Sudan on Tuesday, whereas Guinea Bissau clash with Nigeria. On Sunday, Groups E and F round up the second match day, as Algeria play Equatorial Guinea and Sierra Leone play Ivory Coast in Group F. Group E, while Mali plays Gambia and Tunisia faces Mauritania in Group F. From African football to top-flight European football, and moving on to a packed Saturday in the Premier League, as Manchester City kicked off the day in style, breezing off Chelsea 1-0. Saying 1-0 might make the game sound tight and balanced, but the reality was that Man City dominated the game and were much sharper than Tuchel's side, who looked very pale and out of sorts. The sole goal in the game came from the foot of Kevin De Bruyne in the 70th minute after a brilliant solo run from the Belgian. This means that Chelsea break away with 13 points ahead of Chelsea and get closer to a 4th title trophy in the last 5 seasons. In the afternoon action, João Pedro's goal for Watford late in the game cancelled Saint-Maximin's 43rd minute opener for Newcastle United to share the points in a relegation direct battle. The Carrow Road and Richarlison's beautiful overhead kick in the 60th minute was not enough of a response to grab any points for Everton, as Michael Keane's own goal plus Josh Sargent's second meant that the Canaries ran away victors 2-1. In Molineux, Wolves managed to carry on their positive momentum after defeating Southampton 3-1, with a penalty goal from Raul Jimenez, a Conor Cody header and a late Adama Traore effort, giving the home sides the points, as Saints' only goal was from a marvellous free kick from James Ward-Prowse. And the late Saturday kick-off, Manchester United had yet another capitulative performance, as they lost a 2-0 lead they established in the 6th and 67th minute, thanks to a Bruno Fernandes brace in the space of 6 minutes, as Jacob Ramsey and Villa's newest signing Philippe Coutinho, who scored coming from the bench, to share the points in the end. Action continues on Sunday, but without the North London derby, as that game got cancelled due to Arsenal not having enough fit players because of COVID cases and injuries. From England we move on to Germany, and also a pretty packed Saturday in the Bundesliga, as 6 games from round 19 took place. We start from Cologne, as Bayern Munich managed to bounce back brilliantly from last week's loss against Mönchengladbach with a sublime 4-0 display against FC Köln, setting a couple of records in the process. First, it was Thomas Müller who became the second player with the most assists in world football, with 278 after a couple of them in the game. Second, Lewandowski's hat-trick didn't just mean he moves his tally to 23 for the season, but also make him reach 300 Bundesliga goals as the 4th highest goal scorer in the history of the league. Elsewhere, Union Berlin turned things around to get a massive home victory against Hoffenheim, as goals from Andres Voigtländer and Grisha Prömel cancelled an own goal from Timo Baumgartl to move up to 5th behind their opponents, only on goal difference, sharing the 31-point mark. Mainz returned to winning after a couple of setbacks, as Jeremiah St. Just's goal saw them overcame Bochum 1-0 at home. A side that won away from home was Leipzig, who managed a comfortable 2-0 victory over VfB Stuttgart thanks to a penalty from Andre Silva and a second from their best player in the season, Christopher Nkunku, to win yet another game under their new manager Domenico Tedesco. Wolfsburg continued their slump in the league though, as they remained winless for the 9th game in a row, albeit drawing this time at home 0-0 against Hertha Berlin, as they stand 4 points ahead of 17th placed Arminia Bielefeld, hovering around the relegation zone. And as you would expect happening to a team that would beat Bayern Munich, Borussia Mönchengladbach lost the following game 2-1 against Bayer Leverkusen. Robert Andrich gave the visitors the lead in the 51st minute before Patrick Schick made it 2 for his side in his 18th goal for the season, only for Nico Elvedi to score a consolation goal in the 81st minute. It's only fair really to point out in this game that Hein Sommer had a great performance, saving 2 penalties and making over 12 saves in the game. This win meant that Bayer Leverkusen occupy the 3rd spot by themselves as action continues on Sunday with Augsburg hosting Eintracht Frankfurt and Arminia Bielefeld facing Greuther Fürth in a relegation head-to-head. Finishing off the recap in Italy as round 22 of Serie A kicked off with 3 matches on Saturday. Action began in Genoa as Sampdoria played hosts to Torino. The home side led thanks to Francesco Caputo in the 18th minute, only for Wilfried Sango to cancel that and equalise for Torino in the 26th minute. The visitors managed to sneak away with the win as Dennis Pratt headed the ball in for the winner in the 67th minute as Torino get their 31st point of the campaign. A side that had a much comfortable afternoon was Maurizio Sarri's Lazio, who made quick work of bottom table Salernitana away from home, dispatching of them 3-0. Immobile scored an early brace and Manuel Lazzari bagged the third for the blue capital side perfect win as they go up to 6th with 35 points, right behind Juventus. And speaking of Juventus, to cap off the day they managed to put off Udinese 2-0 and dust off their Super Cup loss from the midweek to Inter thanks to goals from Paulo Dybala and Weston McKennie to put themselves joint on points with Atalanta on 41 points with 2 games in hand for the Bergamo side who play Inter in a massive game on Sunday as round 22 continues. That's it for the recap. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment on the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Enable notifications to receive all the updates. Follow us on social media. I'm your host, the HOD of the PSP, and I'll see you soon.